All right, guys. So I just got done making a video on 3 pair of boots that I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about. And by the time I got done recording the video, basically it turned into its own video. So the video you guys are about to watch is going to be about, like I said, 3 pair of boots. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm sure the comments and things like that will verify whether you liked it or not. So yeah, let's get on with the video and see what you guys think. All right, everybody. So earlier I had mentioned in the video that I wanted to talk a little bit about footwear. Now I know this isn't normal content for the channel. However, as you know, all of us in the firewood community, we do a lot of strenuous testing, if you know what I'm saying. From log rounds being dropped on your foot to walking on uneven, very uneven surfaces, and ankle support, things like that are way up there on the must-have list of things. So so I'm gonna talk about 3 pair of boots that I have here, and none of these brands, there's 2 brands. Neither one of the brands are a sponsored, of any sort, not even a contingency. Okay. But some of this stuff, some of the reasons, I should say, as to why I went with these boots or brands are, because of, other people kind of giving me, an idea of, what brands are good, and I might want to try out to see how it works out for me. So, 2 of these boots are both Red Wing. Okay. Now, these Red Wing boots here are brand new. Just got them yesterday. Really not too much to talk about with those. Now, this pair of boots here is Brunt. Okay. And then this pair here is another pair of Red Wings. Now, these boots here, these Brunt boots, I got, I'd say, 8 months ago, maybe pushing on 9 months now. And as far as comfort, in the beginning, like any other boot or shoe for that matter, you had a break-in period that was kind of, not all that comfortable. But after they broke in, they're very comfortable. So I do have that to say about the Brunt boots. And now these Red Wings here, these Red Wings were very comfortable from the start, and they actually got more and more comfortable as time went on. Now, these boots here, okay, I'll just bring one of them over. Now, these boots, I mean, gosh, I mean, this particular one, other than the toe and the sole being a bit worn out on this particular boot of the pair, of the 2, this one has experienced very little wear. I mean, you got the heel here. You can see, the rubber is starting to peel off there. But other than that, stitching's all good, everything's great, right? Now the right boot of that pair, you know, I started to experience a little bit of, you know, loss of some seams, you know, things like that coming apart here. And now the sole on this boot definitely, you know, started to come apart, right? And you know, a lot of miles on these boots, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now these Brunt boots, like I said, they're very comfortable. I have not had an issue yet where my feet got wet, so you know, they advertise waterproof, and you know, at least up to where there's the spillover here on the tongue. I've been up to almost every bit of water that deep, and so far they have been great. Now with the Brunt boots, one thing I did notice is when you wear these boots, I'm trying to get a good angle, where your leg goes down to your ankle, right, is further forward on the sole altogether, right? So you know, when you notice it when you put your boots on and you pull your pant leg down over the top part of the boot here, right? So when your pant leg comes down, it comes down about here. And if you're somebody who's got like a size 12 or a size 13 foot, okay, your toes typically, from where your pant leg falls down on the shoe or the boot, your toes stick out quite a bit. Well, with these boots, when you look down, you look like you got size 9.5 feet. So, but a lot of that's due to the design of the boot, where this part of the boot enters down into the cavity where your foot rests, okay? So it actually comes forward more. So you can see down the back here, it's got a slope, it slopes back. So your heel actually sits back behind the vertical, whatever you call this part of the boot, right, that goes down. In the beginning, I didn't like that. I thought it was a very weird feeling. It kind of made me feel like I was dragging my heels all the time, which I mean I was, due to, you know, my body needing to adjust my gait to accommodate these boots. And the other thing is that when I would be walking backwards, my heel would catch on things all the time, because like I said, my muscle memory for doing those types of things while walking forward and backward was based on, you know, the typical work boot that came basically straight down at the back with a slight heel. But all that being said, so far the comfort level, and I used to these boots, and they actually worked out pretty good. My gripe is they're a little bit vulnerable with the toe. Like I said, I've had these for about, you know, like I said, pushing up on 9 months. The eyelets, they're better than a lot of them that I've had, because a lot of them are very sharp and they prematurely cut through your bootlaces, you know, relatively short order. So these are a little bit better, not by much, but a little bit better. So I mean, as far as it being better than the other boots, definitely not better, right? And in some cases, they fall pretty short. Now, reason why I mention that is because here, the sole, all right, has delaminated twice on me now. And just the other day, you can see here, maybe you can, it's starting to come apart again a little bit there. But just the other day, from here all the way back to here was delaminated, not only the outside edge, But I mean, halfway across the sole of the boot, I could peel it back, right? Now I work for a lumber yard, all right? So, you know, we're in job sites, mud, dry, climbing, just doing all kinds of things. You know, a lot of miles back and forth in the wood yard, you know, helping customers and loading trucks and things like that. So I want to try to not come across as picking on these guys, because I don't have anything to compare quality and craftsmanship to other than those old Red Wings that I showed you. Okay. Now, if I had to ask you guys how old you think these Red Wings are here, the ones that I showed you, these boots, no exaggeration at all, okay? I wore these boots, I'm gonna be fair, almost every single day. And when I say almost, I mean like every single day. I mean, it wasn't very often that I would switch out of these boots into other boots, unless we were dealing with really deep snow and I was going to be outside the machine for an extended period of time, and I didn't want to get my feet completely cold and saturated to the bone with just sheer cold and misery. So that's really the only time I would do that. So it's very rare though, because a lot of the work that I did outside in the wintertime was in a machine. But these boots are 13 years old. And I mean, these boots do not owe me a dime, you know. If I went there, before I bought these other Red Wings, okay, I went to the Red Wing store that I bought these from. Aside from the fact that the woman who owns and runs the place was doing backflips, okay, about the fact that I still had these boots and that they were still in the condition that they're in. Incredible, really incredible condition. Now, she had mentioned that it would not be worth me to send these boots in because of the fact that any of the materials that would need to be replaced on this boot don't exist anymore. Like the supplier that they used to get this, you know, all this material from, it either doesn't exist anymore or they don't do business anymore. So they've got a new supplier for materials, and they don't use a lot of the same materials that they used to. So it's a shame. It really is a shame, because these absolutely were my favorite boots. But still, 13 years versus 8 months, okay? 8 or 9 months, and these boots look almost as old as my 13-year-old boots. And, you know, I mean, the soles, I mean, they're wearing out pretty quick, you know? I mean, they're kind of soft, and even maybe in some cases brittle. I mean, you know, chunking out, things like that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess these days, you know, you really can't expect shoes to last you long. I mean, back when I was a kid, you know, 13 years old or somewhere around that age group, you know, I'd get a pair of Adidas or Nikes, you know, and they would last me 3 years. And I was riding BMX bikes, skateboards, running, you know, doing all kinds of things. I mean, every single day, no matter what the weather was. I mean, I trashed my shoes. However, they still held up to the, you know, to the abuse that I put them through. Now, as far as these Red Wings here, these brand new ones that I got, even though they're Red Wings, right? I've heard that there had been some changes with Red Wing. aside from not only, but you know, the material supplier, I guess. But you know, I guess other things have changed, and you know, I've heard people saying that, you know, they just don't hold up like they used to. So like I said, these have they have a big place to kind of to cover, you know, in comparison to even their, you know, their older siblings, I guess. But yeah, these boots are very comfortable so far. I mean, you know, there's a little bit of a break-in, you know, just like anything else. They fit very snug. The ankle support's great. The only thing I really don't care for is you look here on the back of the boot and you see how it drops down like that. I don't know why they're doing that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really care for it. I prefer it to be just kind of like the same height all the way around. But if you could call that a legitimate complaint, you know, you're being awful, you know, critical, because super comfortable boots. I just don't understand why they do that. So we'll just have to see how these things hold up, and I hope they hold up as good as the old ones. And you know, yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, footwear is a really important thing. You know, doing, you know, what, like I said, what we do in the you know, firewood community, and the trades, all the trades. I mean, our feet are really our money makers. You know, no feet, no work. So, you know, the other pair of boots I have are Irish Setter, or Red Wing Irish Setters, or Irish Setter Red Wings, whatever you call it. I still have those as well, and they're Thinsulate. And last I used them, I mean, they were still great. I mean, I haven't really used them too heavily. I think there might be some stitches here and there kind of coming apart, but those are quite old too. I'd have to say those things are probably every bit of 9 years old. But they're still doing pretty good. And again, you know, they're very spacious inside, so in the wintertime, sometimes you'll find me using those because I can add layers of socks if I want to. These other boots, not so much. My old Red Wings, the ones that are 13 years old, I can fit at least one more layer of socks, as long as they're not really thick socks. Sometimes I do prefer layers, because you can strip layers off to, you know, accommodate, you know, whatever temperature changes happen during the day. So that's going to be it for that. I just figured I would, you know, show you guys the, you know, the boots that I use, and maybe get some information and maybe some feedback from you guys that watch my channel and subscribe and things like that, to see you know, what kind of boots you guys are using. And you know, and how they've held up to the test of time and abuse. But thanks a lot for hanging out with me here in the garage on Mount Tammany Ridge, and thank you again to all the new subscribers. Since Boonville, I've gotten quite a few more subscribers, and I'm very, very happy with that. It's very cool, and thank you. And if you like the content you're seeing here on Mount Tammany Ridge, if you could hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell to let you know when I make a new when I post a new video, and you know, share with your friends if you could. That'd be great. You guys have yourselves a good evening.